Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your friend Sachin, going to begin with the very first topic, very basic function of Excel, and that is sum function. So, in this session, I'll be talking about various applications of this particular function. Although you must be knowing that how do we apply the formula, and sum as itself is interpreted that we'll be calculating the sum of various numbers like 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 2 becomes 6, and plus 3 becomes 9, and so on and so forth. But if you're given hundreds of numbers altogether to calculate the sum of all those numbers, definitely it will take plenty of time to calculate the sum total of all those numbers. How Excel is going to help us in order to calculate the sum of all those numbers? Definitely we shall be taking the help of Excel, and we will be understanding the use of it and the application of it. This session is not limited up to the calculation of sum function only, but we shall be exploring the various aspects this function can be applied, the vertically, horizontally, diagonally, various facets where it can be applied. So let's move to the Excel sheet where we shall be practicing it. Here I have collected some of the data for you so that we can understand it better in better terms. There is one disclaimer that the data I'm going to display here is not the actual data. Definitely the price here being displayed for these commodities are not the actual prices. So these are just the representing numbers, okay, so that we can practice it. First and foremost thing that we are going to take is, let's say we are visiting a mega store, as you like to visit many mega stores, including Big Apple, Big Bazaar, Walmart, and so on and so forth. So let's say you visited some store to buy some toiletries and the grocery items. You bought Colgate, you bought notebook, a book, milk, water bottle, mustard oil, up to bathing soap and sanitizer. So these are the prices of these commodities. One way to calculate the sum of all these numbers is open your calculator in your cell phone or start calculating, start applying your Arabic mathematics, right? So that is one way. Second thing is open the calculator in the computer itself and then start typing the number manually. Definitely, since these numbers are very few in count, right? There are 13 numbers in total. But what if this count of numbers is even higher? If it is 10,000 numbers, if there are 1 lakh numbers, definitely it will take much time to calculate those numbers. When it comes to practicing it in reality of life, definitely we are in the 21st century where everything is being modernized and we have plenty of data to work with. In that situation, when we can use it, so one way is we can use we can directly sum these numbers. So to apply a function, we have to type is equals to or hyphen. So either is equals to, I'm going to start with, let's say this cell plus this cell plus this cell. Let's say I'm going to calculate the total of these cells as of now. Once I'll press enter, or I can click this enter also. So once I click this, the total of these three cells is 486 rupees. However, if I want to calculate, let's say if I want to calculate the sum of all these 13 cells, definitely it will take much of time. When it took time to calculate the total of 3 cells, it will take even higher time for 6, much higher for 9, even higher for 12, and the highest for 13, right? So one shortcut that I can calculate, that I can use to calculate the sum of all these numbers is select the entire range and click the auto sum. The moment I shall click the auto sum, the sum total of all these numbers, all these prices will be displayed in the next cell as it has been displayed here, right? So I have spent precisely 1,617 rupees, right? The biggest advantage, another way that I can apply this formula is, see, I didn't type anything. I just simply clicked on this auto sum function and it calculated the sum total of all these prices for me. Another thing that I can do it for you, is I'm going to delete this number, I can manually do this, right? Is equals to sum. When I want Excel to calculate the sum for me, so I'm going to command the Excel as do the sum for me for all the numbers in this given range. So I can directly select this range with the help of my mouse, like C3 colon C15, and close the parenthesis. The moment I shall click the enter sign, enter button, it will display the same answer that we already had, that is 1,617 rupees, right? Another thing is, another way is definitely we can type this range manually. When there is a huge range, huge cells, huge like variety and diversification of ranges, then it is better to type it manually. So that is we have first column, that is C3, as it is displayed C under column C, third column. So from C3 to 2, for mentioning the 2, we have to write colon, shift colon, semicolon, that means that makes it to colon. So C3 to C15, right? So again, the range has been highlighted for which I'll be calculating the sum of all those numbers. The moment again I shall be clicking and tapping on the enter button, it shall give me the same amount. Definitely you will be wondering that why am I emphasizing on automatizing it, right? But the biggest advantage of using these functions is these functions are dependent on these variables. Like this answer, this sum total is 1,617. This is dependent over all these numbers. Let's say by mistake I typed this 83 instead of 93. So the moment I shall correct it to 93 rupees, this has been updated. The result has been updated from 1,617 to 1,627. Similarly, instead of 96 rupees, I mistakenly wrote 196. The moment I shall type 96, the result has been updated. The total amount has been deducted by 100 rupees. Similarly, if I remove 100 rupees from here, that's it 13 rupees. The result has been again reduced by 100 rupees. So this is one of the biggest advantage, that the Excel functions do auto update the final resultant, and we need not to care about the moment we are changing the values. We need not to care about the final result. That's the problem with the calculator, with your manual calculator. If one figure has been typed incorrectly, you have to type all the numbers again and again to get the final resultant. But here you are not supposed to do the same process, right? So this is one thing. Another application, like for calculating the expenditure, we use this sum function. This is worth mentioning here, that if you want similar practice sheets for your convenience and for your practicing, you can write your email IDs in the comment section. I shall be mailing you the practice sheets. Another example that I'm taking for this is the marks. As we all know that our marks that are given in every subject, right? We do calculate the sum of numbers in two ways. Let's say if I'm going to have 100 marks in total, that 100 marks will be constituted from two factors, two proportions, and that is 75%, 75 marks from the written paper, and 25 marks from the internal evaluation. Probably that is dependent over your class test, maybe sessional examination, maybe assignment, maybe case studies, maybe term paper, maybe research paper, or so on and so forth. Right. So first and foremost thing that I am supposed to do is how much marks I'm obtaining out of 100. I'm not concerned about how much you obtained in the written paper or in the internal evaluation. I'm concerned about how much marks I have got in this particular subject, whether I have qualified it or not, or I have achieved the distinction or not, or whether I'm in the top 3 list or not, depending on my objectives. So that way I need to calculate the sum. Then second thing that I shall be needing is I need to calculate the total marks achieved. So firstly, let us calculate the sum total of these marks. So I shall select the range and again will tap on the Autosum button. So it is going to give me the total marks in this. So 54 plus 18 is going to be 72. That means I have scored 72% marks, 72 marks out of 100 in the subject Principles of Management. Definitely you might have different subjects in the different semester in different courses. This is not confined up to the my set of variables, but again, this is how we can calculate, right? Second way that we can use the sum function is we can manually type sum of this range C3, C4 to D4, and then close the parenthesis, close the bracket, and press enter. Then I can do the same process. The moment I can drag it downwards. So you will see that the moment I shall drag, it is going to do it for me. The Excel is going to modify it for me. Instead of B4 and sum of B4 and D4, it is giving me the sum of C5 and D5, then C6 and D6, right? And lastly, the C10 and D10, as I have dragged vertically. So only the rows are changing, but the columns are same. Next thing that I can do is I have to calculate my total number of marks. How much I have scored out of 800. Like you are concerned about individual subjects, but when your uncle asks your marks, how does he ask? Beta, kitne number aaye? Kitne percentage aaye? Right? So for that purpose, you cannot say, Uncle, in French, I have scored 69 out of 100. In financial management, I scored 92. That is a pretty decent number. And in business analytics, again, I have achieved the distinction marks. That is 84 marks. But I could not score well in organizational behavior, and that result was 69% only. Do you answer this way? And definitely, this can be an escape if you have scored possibly 40% of marks, 45% of marks. But here in our example, and definitely in your case, you must have scored very good marks, and you want to calculate the percentage also. So for calculating the percentage or the total number of marks, then we are supposed to select this range. Basically, this range starts from E3 to E10. So I need the sum of E3 to E10. So I shall command, okay, like we do in Android, okay Google and hey Siri. Similarly in Excel, we have to type is equal to. So hey Excel, calculate the sum of E3 to E10. E3 colon E10. So how is your series going to answer for you? Hello boss, your total number of marks is 621, and this is as simple as that. So this is my subject total and this is my overall total. That means I have scored 621 marks out of 800. This number will be used for calculating percentages. Then if you want to know the percentage function, do look for next video that I shall be posting. How do we calculate the percentages, averages, and perform similar functions in the Excel. Now moving on to the third application of this sum function. Let's say we had 8,90,000 rupees to invest, and we invested into many investment avenues, right? So while investing into the avenues, one disclaimer that I want to make is these are not the actual growth numbers. These are just the hypothetical number have been taken just for the sake of calculation purposes. So do not judge these mutual funds or investment avenues on the basis of values written here. Now talking about, let's say in our example, in first mutual funds, we invested 85,000 rupees and that have become 91,698. Similarly, if I invested 60,000 rupees in gold a year ago, that amount has become 65,777. Similarly, I had put in some amount into fixed deposit, that amount has grown to 75,247. Now I want to, since this amount is constant, this is the amount that we have invested. This is not going to change, but this amount is changing every day, irrespective of the fixed deposit that shall be growing at its steady pace, but everything else is growing every day, in fact every moment during the daytime, right? So the NAVs are changing in the daytime, the share prices are changing again from 9:15 to 3:30. So every moment these values are changing in the daytime. Then I want to calculate what amount that I own as of now. I invested 8,90,000 rupees. How much I have earned over this? What is my total investment amount now after 6 months or maybe after 1 year? For that purpose, again, we shall be calculating the sum of all the final values. So from D3 to D15 and then close the parenthesis. Once I'll click the enter, this amount has become 9,27,615, which is clearly stating that how much my money has grown over this period of time. I invested 8,90,000 rupees, and that 8,90,000 rupees have become 9,27,615 rupees for me. So precisely, some Einstein has earned 37,615 rupees over the investment that I made over a period of time. These are the few applications that I could think of for making a simple video for you. If you want me to discuss some more applications, you can suggest me in the comment section, and then I shall be coming up with those videos and solution of all those problems. If for similar worksheets and the practice sheets, you can also write in the comment section, then so that I can help you with the review and the solution of your particular problems. Anyways, thank you for your patience and continuous attention.